everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Carol from Practical Mystic. Today I'm continuing my series of Who Do You Think You Are? It is based on workshop material that I have done years ago, as well as excerpts from this book by Dr. Judith Orloff's Guide to Intuitive Healing. Where I'm working from is part 2 of the book. Under Emotions and Relationships, we are on chapter 6. From that, it is the emotional path of the warrior. Now, in the previous videos, this is part 5. In part 4, we talked about empowering beliefs and how important they are in our lives. The last video was empowering belief number 1. I will link that to this video. Today we are going to be discussing just how important and powerful our belief systems are in our lives and what Dr. Judith Orloff believed was another empowering belief. That's going to be our number 2. I want to make sure you see this on your monitor. Here we are. Excellent. Okay. Second empowering belief. Feel your power and beauty. Now, what I'm about to read opens up chapter 6, where there is this quote from Marianne Williamson. Many of you may know Marianne Williamson. She is a facilitator and practitioner of A Course in Miracles, has her own books and her cassette tapes out on the workings of that spiritual practice, A Course in Miracles. So we begin with this quote. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? And Dr. Orloff continues with additional information from Marianne Williamson's by saying, our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And there is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around us. And you step back and you maybe think about times in your life that you downplayed your own power, your own greatness, or your own beauty or your skills. And here are some questions that were discussed in the workshop. How and where does this apply to me, where maybe I didn't claim my power or stressed my beauty, whatever that is? And do I shortchange myself in order to be liked or part of a group? Was another question that we worked on and considered. Now, you may want to put these in your journals. You may want to meditate and reflect on this to help you see how you feel about your own power and your beauty. And the third question is, have I expressed who I am fully, or disown parts of myself that I deem could jeopardize a relationship or situation? Now, in the book, Dr. Orloff goes back and says there are numerous reasons why we are fearful of taking responsibility of our power. Beauty. Acknowledge it in her, beauty, acknowledge it in her was terrifying. It made her feel vulnerable. Now, in the book, Dr. Orloff talked about how she knew that she was attractive, never claimed her beauty or tried to express it, acknowledge it in any way, and she downplayed it. And she is basically telling us that our beauty is really seen, and it has unimaginable dimensions, physically and beyond, in any of us, and denying our beauty should never be mistaken for humility. And it's true that we may be fearful, like Marianne Williamson said, about our brilliance, that we are gorgeous, and what that may cost us on a positive level and maybe on a negative level for some of us. So that's just one part of what our belief systems are. Now, she goes on to say that the importance of valuing what is good in ourselves and urging the same in others. There's also a need for shifting our perception of a belief that declares who and what we are can be viewed as egotistical. So as she was really kind of saying here, that we have sometimes mistaken our beauty for humility, just to be humble and not to claim that we have a certain asset or quality about ourselves. And it's looked upon as egotistical. And I'm sure all of us have a belief system of how much we want to play that card or how much we want to act the part of our physical beauty. Just taking that for one example. But with this also comes the time that we will see a change in our physical appearance in other areas of our lives. So we're looking in the mirror and we're seeing the beauty. All of a sudden, we see some wrinkles, and we're forgetting that that is also part of aging, and overlooking maybe the beauty of another quality of our appearance, like our eyes or our skin tone or the smile on our faces. And we need to watch how we'll focus on designating that beauty, how we believe will diminish it or add to it. So, learning not to dwell on what has been presented and the gentle acceptance of the processes of change we go through day after day. So looking at that in a unified way, taking it all into consideration. Here is a key point. Acknowledge the fear and learn to diffuse it. What is your myth about beauty or having power? So we really need to visit that. And then focusing on the fears that are attached to it if we manifest that power, that beauty, that skill, that talent that we have. Acknowledging the myth we have about it. Now, in closing, we all make conscious decisions on how we will present ourselves to the world. Agreements that we believe will help us in some way achieve our objectives, whatever those may be. So looking at what those agreements are that we have made within our consciousness about how we will present ourselves, what we will show, what we will deny, maybe what we will temper in some way. In order, again, to go back to what we talked about earlier in this particular segment of how I express who I am fully or disown parts of myself that I deem could jeopardize a relationship or situation. We have to be honest both ways. And lastly, we're rarely taught how precious our light is or how to manifest it. Dr. Orloff says to shine, to be joyful. This is a passage to strength we all must take. So thanks for sharing this time with me, friends, and looking at the empowering belief number 2, feel your power and beauty. And maybe you want to look inside your own belief systems of your power and your individual beauty and how you've claimed it or maybe disown it. I welcome all your comments, your insights, and if you have any questions on this or any other of the material that I have in this workshop, please feel free to let me know. It's great to be back. Thanks for joining me today. Lots of love, everyone. Have a great week ahead. Bye for now.